My name is Mara Whitfield. Tonight was my 36th birthday, a performance in Urbichead Mansion. Crystal flutes, a quartet in soft jazz, 40 guests. Halfway through dessert, my father stood, wine sloshing, and lifted his glass like Agavel. "You're not even half the woman your 16-year-old sister is," he announced. My mother's smile sharpened. "Be grateful we still let you live here, Mara." Leia, legs crossed on the velvet sofa, tilted her new Rolex. "Exactly. Some of us deserve this lifestyle." Thea thinned, silverware paused, every face turned to me. I didn't cry, and didn't erupt. I set my napkin down, pushed my chair back slow enough for the feet to scrape marble, and smiled like he'd finally remembered the punchline. "Then let her start paying your salary," I said, eyes on my father. "Because, Dad, you're fired." "Effective tonight." His glass stalled. My mother's mouthful open. Leia blinked. Performance face slipping. Silence. Electric. I raised one finger. The lights lowered by sign. Not accident. The chandelier lifted on concealed cables. A projector lens revealed itself like an unblinking G. From behind the dessert station, my attorney, Rowan Pierce, stepped out in a carcool suit and clicked a remote. Slide 1 filled the screen. Whitfield Holdings Employment Termination Notice. Graham Whitfield, Chairman Emeritus. Effective immediately. Gasps, then phones. Rowan clicked again. "The contract my father signed last year bloomed 20 feet wide." His signature circled in red. The clause that mattered applied. Employment at will. Termination without cause. Severance nil. He lunged, bourbon darkening his hose. "This house, this company carry my name. For the first time all night, I felt light." "They won't for long," I said. And that is where the true story begins. I was 18 when he showed me what my surname meant. He slid the scholarship I'd earned from Emory across his desk and said, eyes on his laptop, "We'll save it for the next child." I walked out, signed loans until my wrist cramped, and 4 years later graduated top of real estate finance. I brought home a planned cosign. My mother laughed. My father smiled at the storm he expected to pass. "Legacy, he said. Daughters don't run legacies. So I took the train to Atlanta with 2 suitcases in debt. I rented a midtown closet, answered my own phone, and cold called until my throat burned. Before 24, I flipped a strip center and paid my first assistant in cash. I never asked them for a cent again. A decade in, Whitfield Holdings managed more than 200 properties. On paper, I was CEO. In practice, every major decision needed his signature, and he loved reminding grooms the name was his. I smiled, signed where it did no harm, and built scaffolding he couldn't see, holding companies that caught each new asset like nets. 14 months ago, I brought him Colin in a folder. "Chairman Emeritus," I said. "Salary, medical, Theckerner office, the view." He scrolled his name without reading the spine and toasted my generosity. I felt nothing. Near midnight, my phone buzzed. Rowan's voice was level. "Your father wants an irrevocable trust for Leia. All holdings." "You're omitted." Cold clarity arrived. "Tell him yes," I said. "Bill him hourly and mirror it for me." Rowan exhaled. "Understood." I opened an encrypted directory on my laptop and named it Endgame. By morning, I had 47 moves and a clean conscience. First, the board. No parents in the room. Voted Mezzle managing member of the parent LLC. Next, I formed the Mara Whitfield Irrevocable Trust in Delaware with 3 independent trustees. New leases, refinances, acquisitions, all funneled through the trust. Leia posted jets and white orchids. The timestamps made it to corporate spend. 8 months later, the trust quietly owned 92% of the opportunities. I filed an anonymous IRS Form 21 through Rowan's firm with 2 years of reconciled statements. I didn't want bounty. I wanted gravitas. Party was the fuse. The aftermath was the fire. 3 weeks later, the first freeze orders hit every account still bearing my father's name. Club access evaporated. The black cards went dull and plastic. Before I'd even had coffee, a notice landed. Back taxes, penalties, interest. 8 figures. A number large enough to bend the air around it. The Buckhead house was listed by noon. A stranger bought the view. My parents moved into a two-bedroom in Sandy Springs, beige carpet, thin walls, the kind that make you hear every cough from the neighbor's kid. Leia transferred to public school and vanished from social media the day my announcement clip passed 10 million views. Apologies came in drips, a text with too many ellipses, a letter without a signature. I shredded what needed shredding and kept what mattered: control, payroll, the future. Whitfield Holdings became Whitfield City Partners. Same cruise, same skyline, a new nameplate on the boardroom door. Profits climbed. Investors learned to route their questions through Rowan first. Mrs. Alvarez, the housekeeper who watched me build while everyone else watched golf, joined the foundation board tonight. Barefoot on my terrace, I lift a glass to the city that once tried to rename me and failed. Below, the skyline hums bright, defiant, unmistakably mine. Family, I've learned, is chosen. The rest is biography I don't owe.